Good morning. Welcome to Sunday morning coffee number 89. How untidy is that? This is our weekly show where I chat about things that have happened in the week, things that might be happening next week, get some sneak peeks, things you might not have heard or you might have missed in the week on all the social media. I'm a couple of minutes late, so thanks for waiting for me. I will be blaming the guinea pigs, like I always do, because it's always their fault. They have been very, very, very grass hungry at the moment, and they're controlling my life. Help me, help me! They're coming for me. It's grass season now, so anytime I move, basically they start screaming at me for grass. So even if I give them any of the delicious vegetables that they normally really, really, really like, they'll have a bit of a nibble and then carry on crying at me. So I was just getting set up, and then I had to run outside and get a load of grass for them. So it is entirely their fault. Hello, Mum. Mum's here. Yes. I saw Mum yesterday, so she's a bit emotional now. I managed to get to see Mum out in her garden, and I haven't seen her since middle of last year or something. So that was really nice. Dave. Hello, Dave. I haven't seen your Facebook, but I've seen some recents, so hopefully things are okay. But it's nice that you've come to say hello. I'll have a look afterwards, and hopefully those things get better. What we got there? What's up? I'm still half asleep, but I have a nice load of lovely tea. You can see all of the lumps, the lumps in the tea. It's more of that. Was it that American Hyper and Leaf? Very nice. So thanks everyone who's come along. Let's see what. Oh no, that sucks. Sorry to hear that, Dave. Sent her some Annie and Squiddo wishes, and hopefully it'll be all right. So. You're just gonna have half an hour today of me drinking tea and going. So yes, getting to see Lil yesterday was very, very good. She might have been a little bit emotional. She's threatening to come up and do some work at some point as well. But I reckon that'll probably be all right by the time that Kickstarter gets shipping. Honey's tea fest, yeah, ASMR tea drinking. So where are we? What day is it? Sunday. There's a question already. I'm going to go for that instead of freestyling it. Templar Knight says, do you do any of the sculpts yourself that you sell or others on board? Yes, we've got a team. Oh no, I don't do any sculpts. Apart from my guy, I keep meaning to release my guy and sell him for £1 just because he's fun. I sculpted a guy once. I think he was pretty good, to be fair. See you, Dave. Good luck. No, so my sculptors are Alan Marsh, the main one. We've got the odd sort of cameo. Alan Marsh, Ristel, and Shane Hoyle and Daniel Smith are our main folks. They've kind of got their own little specialities as well that I keep them to. Occasionally they cross over, and it helps keep lines consistent as well. So, for example, like pretty much all our World War II is done by Alan. We've had Rob guest. He's going to be coming in a lot more as well because he's wicked. Rob's our only digital sculptor, and he'll be doing some more artillery for us. So, oh yeah, Major Fret has seen the guy. Release the guy. He's a good guy. He's a little fella. I went to a Kev White sculpting workshop and made a guy, and I really liked it. So this week, what has this been dominated by? Kickstarter. That went well. That went very well. So that ended Wednesday evening, had a last minute surge. I was super excited. You know how I say that I've got my secret. Oh, now if I release the guy, he's just got to be called the guy, isn't he? You're convincing me to do things again. So the Kickstarter was Wednesday, and finished Wednesday. So I normally say I've got my secrets. Was it my secret target? I've got the half face thing going on again, but my secret targets that I don't tell anyone so I don't jinx it. But I estimated for the Kickstarter, I estimated 16, and I hoped for 16 to 18, and 300-ish backers. I think we got 320 something. So that went perfectly, which I'm very proud. I'm very proud of my projection skills now. That was pretty spot on. And we've got a whole load unlocked. I had to phone Alan, so Alan's sculpting all of that, and yeah, I had to phone him because I originally said, "You down for some stretch goals?" Obviously, he's down for sculpting whatever for me, but time scale and all this. You're right for doing some stretch goals. And he went, "Yeah, no worries." And I phoned up and went, the stretch goals I mentioned, they got out of hand. It escalated. And he went, "Oh, that's quite a few more." But he's totally on board with it. We're getting the details together now. So fleshing out. The good thing about, because we weren't able to show obviously the sculpts for the stretch goals, but we were. My brain is not here today. We weren't able to show the sculpts for the stretch goals because they weren't ready. And keep getting distracted by the comments there. So it means that I have to just describe it as clear as I can to you, so that you know what you're putting money down for, basically. But it means that chunk of it's already done for the sculptor. I've just got to flesh out more of the details for him. So that's the next. Oh, already. That's the next thing on the task-wise for me to do on that. Anyone who's missed, have a little look. I've done an update on the Kickstarter, just saying that sort of thing, and that there's pretty much nothing to do for about a month or something now, because Alan's going to be sculpting. I'm not going to put the pledge manager up till Alan's yawned. I'm not going to put the pledge manager up till Alan's done most of those sculpts. So we're just gonna be a bit quiet. I've posted on there that I don't want to keep updating it when there's no pledge manager, because then what's it? I'm holding a pillbox. I just realised. Hang on, what's that happening there? Yeah, because I don't want, when you back a Kickstarter and then it spams you every 5 minutes forever, so that you stop looking in the end. I don't like doing that. So I told people that basically going to do little updates on. I feel like half my face is in entire darkness. Ooh. Pigs, move that way a bit. There we go. What if I do this? I swear I fiddle with it again. Whee! And accidentally turn it off. Don't accidentally turn it off. Nope. Nope. Squeaky pigs now. What are you squeaking for? Right, anyway. Okay. Right. Sorry, I'm very drowsy today. What else? Kickstarter. Yeah, I don't want it so that you get a million alerts and then you stop looking and then you actually miss the pledge manager. So I posted in there to keep an eye on the on the social media updates and things like that for the little updates. And then when I've got some substantial, like chunk of sculpts or something, I'll update it, because it's a bit of a what's the word? Fine line between keeping people informed and then just spamming them. And people all have their personal preference of how much they want to be updated and can't please everyone, sort of thing. So I got a bit paranoid. One of the feedbacks, one of my earlier Kickstarters was, "Well, you got pretty quiet since it was fulfilled, since the Kickstarter ended." Like, yeah, because they're being made. So I try and make sure I keep people updated anyway. So anyway, yes, thank you very much. That went wild, and even that bunch of people at the end joining in and just made it go. Whew, and we unlocked everything. We unlocked the dancing ladies, the guitar player, her adoring fan that's going, ah. And I was really happy with all that. That was ace. Yes, it's definitely good to have rough estimations of figures. Don't go in entirely blind, especially when they're larger Kickstarters. But yeah, I'm pleased that I'm getting really spot on with my estimation skills. Felicity, you went to the Fencing Queen, saw an unboxing she was never seen or heard from again. That happens. She was supposed to be part of a pack, and she's just kind of on hold at the moment. The other stuff wasn't made, and there's just like, again, this it's the whole like everything costs so much money. So she's there, but I'm like, the money to release her, which sounds nuts when you've just looked at the 18.5 grand for that Kickstarter. It's still all what's it? Um, the relative? I don't know. I'm not actually here today. I think I'm here in body but not mind or something like that. It was all the socializing yesterday. I don't know how to socialize anymore. It's knackered me out. And eating of chocolate, much eating of chocolate. Um, Jasper, you emailed me, I believe, and I haven't been able to update you. Any update on the community miniature projects? Yes, they went on hold because I've had a massive overwhelm, and they will be back getting developed. What I was doing was all the polls for the models, but I'm going to stop that. Well, not stop it, but keep them going. And then it's the earlier figures. I want to get some movement on them and get them actually designed. So while Alan's sculpting these, while he's sculpting these World War II figures, I can be getting the design nailed for the figures that he's going to be doing afterwards as well, which is going to be all the. I'm going to get him to do basically all the community figures in one big block at the start, and then we can sort of. The next ones they can then get voted for and start the process. I just don't want to have too many in that sort of pending section. I want to get some actual movement on it. The reason I've put an update on the Ko-fi, and I keep the blog updated. So they've got updates just saying basically that it's just going to be a little while. It's partly because it just took off way more than I expected. I expected to have to kind of deal with 1 or 2 figures, and it's on about 7. And because they're all entirely different time zones, time periods, it's just a lot of research. I kind of created loads more work for myself, and I didn't quite realize it. So I've got to do all of the different research for all the different time periods to get the clothing right and all that sort of thing. And it's kind of went, it's good. It's really good that it's gone so big, but it just happened to be a time that I was already at peak overwhelm. My emails have been a nightmare. So I'm really behind in emails. So anyone who is waiting, I'm very sorry. All of that's just like at least the Kickstarter's done, so that's gone. But that was a huge focus. But all the things that had me off sick beforehand are still happening, so I've got all of that to deal with as well. I do feel like I say this a lot, but it is that whole me doing all of the things. I think I was in bed the other night about 10 o'clock replying to someone on Instagram with sizes for some of the figures that I was in bed tape measuring some figures I brought home. So I was like, oh, I promised I'd reply to that email today, but I need to go home. I'll take the things. So I was in bed like going, right, so these are about this height. And if you can, so I'm still just generally knackered from all that. I think I had about a week off because I was overwhelmed, and then I had probably 2 weeks where I was in work but not doing anything, because I really was just like at that burnout point, which sucks. And I'm still feeling it, but I'm feeling quite a bit better at the moment. The Kickstarter was weirdly chill, so that was cool. Being able to go out and do some socializing has helped because it's got me out of that little rut. So I get to see people, like seeing Mum yesterday. Yay! So that's all good. But yeah, on a whole, I always try and keep these nice and positive, but there is this undercurrent of me losing my mind at the moment that you can't quite see. So yeah, it's all just very a lot, which is also why I say the last few weeks I've been even more scatterbrained on these. I normally feel like I have a nice list of stuff to talk about. It's just me going, hello, yes. But yeah, there is so much I need to do. Due to a nice little loophole, I got my email from the government saying, nope, you can't get the next grant, and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, cool. And Dave, I didn't realize he was watching. So hello, Dave, and some of my brothers as well. And my mum's got an enormous garden, so I met a bunch of people yesterday. So that's really cool. Yes, Daniel says burnout is the literal worst. Yeah, I was getting just like really just like losing interest in everything, which I don't because this whole company is my entire passion. But because I was just so knackered, everything was just like, I don't want to do it. I just want to hide forever. So I've got out of that, but I'm still massively stressed. And juggling a million things. And I do get a bit bored of hearing myself say that because I don't know. I don't know. But nothing's ever forgotten. That's the main point. There's always a million things churning in my brain at night. And the community miniatures, I did kind of create this massive extra work, but I love the idea of it and I think it's great and I think it just took off a bit faster than I expected, which again is really good because it means people are into it. So once we've got the ball rolling on that, that can be more of a, because it was supposed to be this nice ongoing thing where it's sort of like Alan will be working on about one or two sculpts a month for the community minis. But it's just got that big booth at the start to get it sort of ready. Yeah, they're definitely happening. Do not worry. That was what made me anxious about it as well because I didn't have a time release like I do with Kickstarters. So it was, I think I got a bit panicky at the start because loads of people were chucking money and like, that's great, but I don't know. So yeah, everyone being cool is much appreciated. So thank you. Yeah, it's just there's so many different things to keep updated, and just a one me, and I'm working again on more restructuring and more ways that I can make the company less reliant on me because I get frustrated about that as well, that it's all reliant on me and I've got dodgy mental health, and then I seem to be getting more and more dodgy physical health. So I was ill for the entirety of the Kickstarter. So what's happened this week? I was ill for the entirety of the Kickstarter. You saw me last week. I got into a big mess over missing my medication. This week I managed to get some new drugs for what was wrong with me. And they had loads of side effects. So I've been in some weird like chemical trance for the last couple of weeks. But I think I'm mostly better now. So woo! But yeah, trying to manage a Kickstarter whilst just wanting to die was pretty much been the last week. So it was super good that the Kickstarter was so chill because otherwise that could have been some sort of hell, but it was not. But yeah, all these things seem to be happening. My body just fails quite a bit. But the fact that the business is always hinging on that, on if I'm okay, isn't good. So it has been up till this point. But I'd like it to be more stable. So that's getting more people involved. But that involves lots more planning, lots more work to get to that point, and lots more budget, which I know I sound like a broken record, but we don't have. Drink. We're in it's such a weird point for the company at the moment, and like in growth terms, of that it's the company's on one hand, I just noticed Sandy's evil eye there. It's way bigger than probably most people realize, and at the same time way smaller than most people realize. So it's really odd in that way that it's still an Annie, and it definitely shouldn't just be still an Annie at this point. But yes, circumstances and all of that shenanigans. Gone. Oh, my throat. So I'm just working on getting all that sort of stabilized. But yeah, there's a million things I need to be getting on with. And it's always having to go, how urgent are these things? How many fires can I put out by doing this task or this task? So I'm even doing some more socializing later as well. I've at least stopped myself feeling bad for socializing because I was in that whole must work all of the time and that's it and can't do anything else. But I've managed to get out of that habit. As a heads up, before I go on to a miserable, I'm going to aim to not do more than half an hour today. So if you've got questions and things, you should get them in. Because I don't want to just sit here going really overwhelmed again. What other news have we had? Again, I've been either doing Kickstarter things or being in bed wanting to die. I have somehow been continuing to run the company. So what's that? Oh yeah, figuring out stretch goals because I totally hadn't planned them as we're going away too. We got there. So yeah, I'm super excited by all the stuff that we've unlocked. Still in the CBT too, which is going really well. Yeah, I've been really crap at filling in any of my stuff this week. What else have we had? So it's a Kickstarter. All the orders are caught up. There was a little backlog of orders, and they're all out now. Other new stuff. What other new stuff have we got? Nothing. Something's being molded. Oh, some of the what do it? Some of the next Kickstarter is being molded, so that'll be a little while. Obviously, that's not going to happen until this is fulfilled, but there's going to be a relatively short gap, I think, from this being fulfilled to the fantasy Kickstarter beginning. Oh, hair, it's very curly. What is it doing? The fantasy Kickstarter's got some nice stuff in it. So that'll be almost straight afterwards. I've been getting a bit stressed about the new EU scheme that's coming in July, so I've got to make sure this Kickstarter is shipped before July. So that's fun. Well, at least I can make sure the EU orders get shipped before then anyway, because there's loads of different legislation coming in that's all really confusing. What did Daniel say? Can you, once stream's over, have a second cup of tea and put your feet up for 10 minutes as a solid to me? Yeah, I reckon so. Felicity says July, August for fantasy Kickstarter. Yeah, that's probably what it's going to be. I've offered some sneaks around. What? I haven't got my phone by me, so I can't, I'm afraid. But there's some nice figures. I've also got some new Amazons, and they're going to be in there as well, snuck in there. And I'm still debating getting a couple more put in. The amount of was it just the difference in how much is sold from Kickstarters to regular releases. They have to be a Kickstarter, and I go for a bit of a love-hate thing with it. But again, like a week to do 18.5 grand on those, I really don't think I'd have. If they were a normal release, it might have even been a grand over that week. And when you consider like how much money goes into the production of them, because that cost wasn't in the Kickstarter, because I'd paid a while back. The Kickstarter goal was just for those molds and initial bit of casting sort of thing, and I knew it'd go a bit further anyway. That's part of the whole Kickstarter game. Was scared it would clash with Fenris Gobbo Kickstarter. No, it won't. That should be on shortly as well. So I should give that a plug. Fenris is doing a weird little goblin Kickstarter. They're called brownies. They're little peoples. What have I got there? See there. I'll give you. I haven't got any sneak peeks to show you. There's nothing of interest around me. Just the models I was measuring and the best book in the world that I like showing off. The best book in the world. I've been adding a lot more to the playlist on the YouTube channel. So there's a playlist of it's a very catchy name, something like useful documentaries that link to Bad Squiddo miniatures. And I've been watching quite a lot more on YouTube. I'm really like coming into YouTube as just this hub of information. And the fact you get so many that are 10 minutes, because you think of those TV shows, they pad them out with loads of crap. And you think, yeah, the actual information I got from that could have been done in 10 minutes. There's quite a lot of those. I've got some longer ones as well. And oh yeah, that isn't like, why haven't I made that a mini? No, ready. So if you're bored or you want to do a bit of learning, I've been adding quite a bit to that playlist. I did lie, because originally I was going to add to them after I'd watched them, but I was kind of adding it as a playlist for future me as well to go back through. So they all seem to. I've skimmed through them all to check that they seem relatively decent, and read the comments and things like that. So if I've added in there, they seem like they'll be all right. So there's quite a lot of cool focusing on different people and then different genres. Someone posted in Baggy's Cave a link to women in the German army World War II that got the Iron Cross for combat-related reasons, and I have a big plan. As I look at my books, I have a big plan to do Germans later on in the year. Like, I do want to do so much World War Two. Every time I do it, I just think I love that. That gave me so much satisfaction. I just want to have all of World War Two covered. Just there's just so many, and the fact that you've got the photos of people as well. It's just like it makes it more real, and it does feel like a bit of an honour to honour them and just sort of learn about them. I said before that I start recognising people in the photos as well. Wicker Man started reading The Unwomanly Face of War, fascinating and revelatory right from the start. Yes, yes, that's a heavy read, but it's so good. Such a good book. And that whole memoirs from people's first hand is really important as well. And the way that that book was made has just been really tactful, and I like how she talks about her interactions with the veterans that she's talking to. It's really nice. Mhm. Mhm. Um, what's happening next week? It's me doing more of research, getting stuff together for Alan as he sculpts, because I believe he'll be starting tomorrow on those stretch goals. And I'm just looking at all these books, like, oh, that's it. I want more time to do the research, to be able to sit and plan. And there's a show that I like guiltily called Bar Rescue, where it's a bit like Gordon Ramsay and he goes and fixes bars. But one of his cheesy catchphrases that he says to people, to bar manager or bar owners, he says, "You spend too much time in your business and not enough time on your business." I'm like, yes, I do that. Yes. I don't need to be doing some of the stuff. I need to get someone else to do that, and I can do these research and making sure everything is perfect, the planning, scheduling, all of that sort of stuff, rather than just running around. And I do feel like I do run around, just kind of going all the time. And yeah, I'm getting bored that this is an ongoing thing that I feel like I do say quite a lot. And then I keep feeling like I might be getting there, and then I'll get ill or something. And so yeah, I need to make the company less reliant on me, which is again dodgy mental health aside and all that. It's probably quite a standard point for businesses anyway, as they get to that sort of growth period. Yeah, people say things like interns. Like I can't have someone that I'm not paying. Just it's not right, and that's an ongoing struggle as well, because I see lots of other companies do that, and and I think I'm watching them overtake because they're using all the free labor, but I don't. Um, Daniel watches Bar Rescue. Nice. So I don't think even Bristol's sculpted anything at the moment. I need to sort that out. We've got some more Ristols being moulded at the moment as well. Actually, yeah, new stuff. I've got the Bad Squiddo, the logo-y sculpts and the shenanigans with Squiddo and Baggy doing things. That cute pack, they're ready to be released. So but again, it's just these tiny things. Like I just need to photograph them and put them on the website. But it doesn't happen because I've got all the other things happening, and then it's the end of the day. So it's like I'll do that tomorrow, and it just goes on. So there's that. There's the nature animal guardians. What are they called? I need a name for them. But they're sort of like creatures of the forest that have let the forest grow into them as well. They're ready to sell. They're ready to sell. So I should get those released next week, shouldn't I? Again, I've got to photograph them, cut them out, make a thumbnail, put them on the website. Should not take long, but with all the other trillions of things that just get pulled in like all these directions, so I kind of like won't be able to fully do that, and I won't be able to fully do that. So yeah, they've all got to get done. What else? I've been taking weekends off at least, so there's that. Getting those ready. Alan's got a million things to sculpt. I'm thinking of getting another sculptor just to pad out a couple of gaps in that fantasy line. I've got my eye on somebody that we've used before, but not for a long time. Kev. Oh yeah, so it's not Kev White, but Kev has done. He's had a stall on the mounted Jean de Clisson, but he has sent Matahari. But I don't think she's going to get molded until the Johns come in because they're going to probably go in the same resin mold because he's so delicate that it's nicer to put his things in resin molds first to protect them before you put them in the mega mold. But it's more cost effective to put a couple in at once rather than one. So I'm not sure if she's going to go in yet. So she's waiting on her chum. And then it's like, yeah, I've still got a whole bunch of Jean de Clisson, so I don't know if I'll just release her if it's going to be a while till I get the mounted version. But I've said this for a few weeks, so that's what's frustrating. That just time is passing way too quickly, and I've got that added anxiety of shows appearing again. I'm like, yeah. So on top of all the other things, shows is a whole other, it's a whole other realm. It's organising stands, the sales points, the psychology of where to put the products, cataloging the products, making sure all the equipment. They're quite like doing the not mechanical engineering, making sure all the nuts and bolts and racks and all that are in a good nick, all that sort of stuff. And then they obviously take up the weekends, and a lot of the time it's I don't get the time off afterwards, so they're sort of looming. But I really like if salutes on. I think that'll be ace. I'm gonna head off in a sec. I'm gonna end on a high because I noticed that I've been a bit sleepy and just kind of going, oh, I'm overwhelmed. I'll be going to a barbecue later. Look at me being a social creature. Outside with a couple of GWs. So that should be fun. More social. And then I should be back in again tomorrow. Have more CBD tomorrow. So it's just a lot. There's a lot on, basically. So I've been not punishing myself for doing the odd bit of fun at the weekend. What is it? What's it going to end on? Yes, like Andy says, there's lots in the pipeline. So even though I'm a bit of a scatbrain, there's so much happening that's a good thing. It's way better than nothing happening. We've got loads of different things. Just little projects sort of all over the place, and I'm excited about the fantasy Kickstarter. I'm excited about completing the Soviet Kickstarter and those models being out and released. That's going to be lovely. The new stuff from Ristol we've got. All of the community miniatures, once that's really starts getting rolling, I think that's going to be massively satisfying that we can just keep doing that. Again, I just scared myself a bit by getting it growing so quickly at the start. And yeah, there is so much coming, and it is really excited. I've just got to stay alive while I do it, so that's the bonus. Things to look forward to next week. From Beth Squiddo, I will just keep nagging me. I'll release those the Ristol animals and the Squiddo. And actually, I should probably just release John if you're good. If you're waiting on emails, please be patient because I am going through them, but there's just a lot, and again, everything is a lot. So thank you for coming along. It's a bit shorter than usual, but so I haven't got tons to talk about because I've just been, I say, asleep and Kickstartering, and I'm still in that sort of overwhelming, and I don't want to do a don't want to do a big sad on anyone. So next week, Ristol makes Centaur Tank Regiment. This would not surprise me, to be fair. we got some wicked stuff coming from Ristol that's getting molded at the moment. I can't wait to show you as well. But yeah, it's all good. And the size of Bad Squidder now is just really impressive, and I'm really chuffed with it. And I thank you for coming along. Come rain or shine, I think it's great that you come along anyway, even if sometimes I'm a bit grumpy. So thank you very much. Yep, I'm going to finish that tea and chill, I think, and then do some chores, but then head out. So yay. So goodbye. Thanks for coming along. Woo, no, wrong button. That's not the button. That's this button. No, not that button either. Bye.